Hello interwebs, it's Meg and Mike, Mike and Meg back for another co-op video.
Ooh.
Insert lightning bolt. So today what we want to talk about is Hellboy, not only the books but the movie franchises and all that good stuff. I love Hellboy.
Yes, me too. Very much
Deep-seated
so.
feelings. It's my kind of thing. The books that are done by Mike Mignola are drawn very dark. There's a lot of simplicity in the imagery, but it's also it expresses a lot of what it's trying to say with very simple colors, simple images, simple shapes, and it's so beautiful.
It's gorgeous. The drawing is just amazing. And like you were saying, it's very, very dark, but what he can do with just black is just phenomenal.
Yeah, like literally most of the pages are filled with black with a little bit of splash of color here and there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like dark eyes and stuff. It's all very, very well done, and it frames the books really, really well and tells a good story with just pictures.
Yes.
But also there's good dialogue and back and forth. Well, kind of good dialogue. Hellboy's not really known for good dialogue.
He's more of his,
I'll punch you in the face.
He says crap a lot.
Hit you with my whammy.
Nice.
So the books are supernatural. If you don't know already, Hellboy is an investigator from... Wait for it. From hell. Oh, buried feet. Sorry about that. I couldn't help it. Spoilers.
He works for the BPRD. He came up, he was summoned to Earth, but he was found by Trevor Broomhelm. Right? Trevor? Broomhelm? Broomheim? Broom! Professor Broom.
Yeah.
We'll edit all that out.
That's good banter.
So he was raised basically as a human, and he has morals, and he doesn't like who he is. He doesn't like where he came from.
And has a deep-seated love of pancakes.
Pancakes and kittens.
And kittens.
Loves kittens. And beer.
Beer. Who doesn't? He's a man's man.
I think I'm Hellboy, actually.
It would explain a lot.
Yeah.
The books go through several different storylines. A lot of the original stuff is just him trying to find his way in the world and try to find who he is a little bit.
Now,
no, it's not. Who he is just kind of gets thrust upon him.
It is, yeah. Unlike the movies, though, he is out and about in the world. Him and Abe and Liz and everyone knows who they are, so he doesn't have to hide. He's just like a regular guy. He goes into coffee shops and stuff and just been like, hey, it's Hellboy.
You've got your Hellboy, you've got your Abe Sapien, who's a big fish man, and you've got Liz Sherman, who's a pyrokinetic who looks completely normal.
Yeah. That's kind of why I like the books a lot better. Like, they take that whole... oh my god, it's a big monkey thing, and we're gonna be scared of him. It takes that whole thing out, and it just focuses on the paranormal research. So it's an interesting way of doing it. There's also novels, like not graphic novels, but actual written novels, and I've read a couple of them, and they're very good, very well written as well. A couple of them are co-written by Mike Mignola, so they are his storylines, and they're amazing. Lots of nice dark imagery.
Dark ink on the pages.
Yeah, the one where that I have downstairs right now, it has a lot to do with like Viking mythology, so it's really interesting. They do a lot of stuff.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, the books progress. They introduce some new characters. One of my favorites is Roger the Homunculus. Now he left the series far too early for my liking. Who doesn't love a good homunculus?
Exactly.
He's lacking in genitalia, and he rarely wears pants. In fact, in one of the books, he tries to wear pants.
And it's disturbing.
It looks weird. He's got like a big block of wood in his crotch and a little ring hanging off of it.
It's
you try
disturbing.
to put that in pants, and it looks weird.
Yeah.
Very well done. Very funny. The movies themselves can exist as a separate entity altogether. They're actually quite enjoyable.
Yes.
It's not one of the things where you're like, oh, well, I want it to be exactly like the books from the movies. I don't like the show because it's not like the book.
Well, and it's because they really kind of took very different plots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they had the main, Hellboy storyline, but they didn't really have a lot of the same plots as the comic books. They kind of chose bits and pieces, but it wasn't just like following the first comic book verbatim, because Hellboy's origin story is like 4th or 5th book or something like that. It's pretty far in there. My favorite character, who I enjoy other than Hellboy, is Johann Strauss. Now, he was a medium, and he was outside of his body when this huge psychic cataclysmic event occurred, and his body basically got burned to a crisp while his spirit was out in the ether.
While he was lollygagging.
Yeah, and so he was just this spirit, and then the BPRD found him and created a containment suit. Now, he is in the second movie, but he's very different in the movie than he is in the books. In the books, he's kind of really unsure. He's not really a leader until later on. He's very just, one of the guys.
Just kind of there.
Yeah,
he just
exactly.
happens to be a guy in a bubble suit.
In a bubble suit. That's part of the team. And he can animate dead things as well. So that's also very helpful.
It's what most of the cast of characters look like.
Yes.
I forget. There's Abe. There's Hellboy. Hellboy Jr. There's Johan in the back.
Roger's in there.
There's
too.
Roger over here.
Yeah. And it's cute. When Johan comes into the story, Roger really kind of takes him under his wing, because Roger's been there for a little bit, but he's always really felt out of place.
Mm-hmm.
And him and Johan really connect and they bond, which is nice.
Until Roger goes away.
Until Roger goes away and everyone is sad.
Nice.
And then Hellboy goes away.
And then Hellboy goes... Yeah, Hellboy leaves the main part of the story, and they kind of continue the story on in other books called the
BPRD.
BPRD is the name of that title. They're also very good. They grab a whole bunch of new characters and keep running along. They have a whole war that goes on, and it's kind of interesting from there.
It is, yeah. They also have Abe Sapien has kind of a spin-off, and there's a character that's in one of the Hellboy stories that's the Witchfinder, and he has a spin-off as well. We have that one. So really interesting books. I just love their art style and their storylines. It's just... as most of you know, I'm more into the independent, darker side of comic books, whereas Mike's more into the capes, but he loves Hellboy.
Yeah,
so,
it's a good mix of both.
Yeah, it is really a good mix of both.
And one tiny more interesting story to end on, interesting to me, is we actually met Mike Mignola at a comic expo.
Yes.
It was weird because he didn't have a lineup. We saw the big banner above his head that said Mike Mignola, and then I looked at him and he looked like Mike Mignola, but there was no line going around the block. So we asked him, why don't you have a line? And he shrugged and he said he didn't know. And then he signed something for us and we went on our way.
Yeah, it was awesome though. I couldn't speak. I didn't say a damn word.
This is Meg meeting someone famous.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I lose all ability to talk. Thanks, dear. Anyway, I think that's a good amount of time talking about Hellboy and how much we enjoy him and his work. So next video will be Mike on Tuesday, and we're all looking forward to what he has to say. This is a logical stopping point.